Family una kusha una kabo una adu. This is a cast TV with regular program Salon for Better. Family as una know say today na Easter Sunday and we dey bring una come some religious leader them who can tell una wetin the Easter mean and wetin the Easter day for. And we get people away na reputable people them way they na the Christian religion, at least way na people them way they preach the word of God to people them we get a lot of followers them around the globe. We go bring una not another person, but we go bring una come Bishop Emmanuel Kuyateh. We get a lot of followers them around the globe, and they get a ministry na New Jersey where na the Family Restoration Worship Center where you get people them from all walks of life where they go na in church. And it go just can give you a brief message today because today na Easter, and you know say because of the COVID, most people they go out, so it go can't talk to una. And welcome Bishop Emmanuel Kuyateh to Sarcast TV.
Thank you, Mr. Masari.
Yes, sir. Bishop, the only thing I know say you get a lot of worshippers the way they follow you online because of this COVID. They preach to them. You get people away at least way they do counseling with people who they get problem them with relationship and every other things them. But today we just bring you come so that you can talk to people the way they out there way they try for look out to able come na church to you today because of the COVID, because of the distance, because of the situation. So we want to let you just tell them no more about the Easter Sunday today and waiting at the difference between this Easter today where COVID dey around and with the Easter that will be done the past before where you church they full up, where some manner they even able go inside the church they pack na do. So Bishop, it's up to you, sir. I want to talk to you followers and today, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Masari, for the opportunity for speak to God's people. To be frank with you, this is one of the best Easters that I can relate to. Easter, which is Resurrection Sunday. If you study history, Resurrection Sunday brought hope to the people in those days. After we didn't go through some difficult times, issues with the Roman, and so they were looking for a deliverer. And unfortunately, when the deliverer came, they rejected the deliverer. But the deliverer, no emission, he continued and he make sure that he gave his life, even though he went through some horrendous physical treatment. Yet he gave his life for bringing hope, for bringing deliverance, for bringing happiness, for bringing inspiration and aspiration to the followers. So when you look at the situation in its totality, it's identical to this Easter, this resurrection, as compared to other resurrections. I'm talking about other resurrections before COVID. And because we're going through the pandemic, you realize that people have lose hope. People are broken. They are, I mean, there is so much going on among families. I mean, so much abuse, so much hopelessness. The pandemic don't snatch away loved ones, but they look for something we go actually bring hope. We go bring some changes into their life, just like in those days. And so after the pandemic, we just hope say this Resurrection Sunday will bring some sweeping changes that can help us build a better future. Because it are the same thing the people been they go through in those days, that they were looking for a change, something that will bring some happiness and some satisfaction until when Christ came and died, and he brought restoration back and brought some hope and encouragement. And so after this COVID, this resurrection is going to bring a better future for all of the listeners and the followers. And so, uh, uh, but the greatest thing I want to appeal to the followers is that they have a choice to make over these coming years. They have a choice whether to change their lives and look up to the resurrection Lord, or they want to stay the way they used to be. But I just want to encourage my followers to take that inspiration from the overwhelming generosity of God, as he stressed the importance of love, reaching out, because resurrection brought changes. And I strongly believe that this resurrection 2021, as a matter of fact, we had in-person service, we maximized the capacity as directed by CDC, and that tells you that people are ready to change. People are now looking for hope in a new direction. But we have a choice to make: to go on as before COVID, where the most powerful people are getting more powerful, where the rich are getting richer. All they're trying to do is to get all the gain, while the rest of the people are falling behind. They are struggling. We don't see wetin COVID done left pan we. So it's about time that we adopt a change. Let's move forward with the flooding life and purpose of the resurrection of Jesus, which changes all things. The resurrection of Jesus changed all things and choose a better future for all. So I want to encourage you that are listening to me. As you celebrate Resurrection Day, I want you to usher changes that will benefit everybody that you come in contact with, everybody in the community, down to politicians. Usher changes that will cause you to treat your constituents, your countrymen, as human beings, not as puppets. Resurrection brought a gift to us, and that gift brought changes. And so, if we are alive today to experience resurrection, then we should be willing to institute changes that will help somebody that is in need, that will lift somebody that is brokenhearted, that will lift somebody that's in a mess, because we are all enjoying the gift of the Resurrection Sunday. And if we are fortunate to be alive to experience this day, it's our opportunity to adjust our life, make the choice of reaching out to those that need a better future. We receive overwhelmingly this gift of generosity. He didn't have to die, but he died and gave us that precious gift of life. But as a church, as followers, I want to encourage you all that the church must speak out and resist injustice. We must treasure our world. We must help the needy. As believers, we must live with a life of compassion and love for all. We should not exclude anyone. Christ came and died for everybody and gave everybody hope and a new life. And for those of you that are watching me and listening to me, I'm asking you to please give somebody hope and change somebody's life. I'm asking the politicians to change their ways and bring hope to their people. I'm asking church leaders to be much more compassionate. If we don't change, anything that does not change, that does not grow, they get rotten, decay, and they die. But the resurrection of Christ brought changes to our lives. And I believe if we honor this day with our hearts, and if we appreciate the generosity of Christ, that he gave his life for us, then I'm quite sure that after this pandemic, we will rebuild a better future. That's my message to you all.
Uh, yeah, we thank you very much, Bishop. Viewers, this is Siakas TV with our regular program, a weekly program. We have Bishop Emmanuel Kuyateh, who is the head bishop for the Family Restoration Worship Center in Old Bridge. Bishop, what is the last message you're gonna give to people that will lose their family members during this pandemic? We just want you to give us a last message and a word of courage so people who lose their family members during this pandemic.
Yes, like I say, this pandemic has dealt a catastrophic blow to a lot of families, some of our friends. But let me say this to you all that are listening to me. Where the bed that your loved ones used to sleep, that bed is vacant today. The chair that your loved one used to sit and you have conversation, that chair is vacant today. There is hope. Don't give up. The God who came and died for you knows exactly what you're going through. That God knows exactly where you are. He knows what you need today as well as what you will need tomorrow. He will never leave you nor forsake you. Friends will walk away from you. Some friends will pull you down. But I'm telling you, this man that gave his life, he put on our mortality and transformed it to immortality. This God that resurrected, whose life we're celebrating today, I'm telling you, he will never leave you. You know, I was going through the scripture and I realized that whilst the women were out trying to spice the body of Jesus, the men were locked up in a room hiding. They were afraid of their lives. But even though they abandoned Jesus and they were in hiding, Jesus went into the midst of their locked door and said, "Peace be still." I don't know what's locked in your heart today, discouragement, as a result of bereavement, as a result of the pandemic. But Jesus can break every barrier, every walls, and go into the midst of your heart and calm you and provide all that you need. All is not lost. Death is only but a comma. Hereafter, things are going to be better. He knows he will never leave you nor forsake you. He will always make a way where there is no way. Friends and family may walk away from you. You have buried your loved ones, and those who sympathize with you, since you bury your loved ones, they have never called you to check on you. It's all right. God knows exactly your downfall and your upsetting. God feels your brokenness. And he's there to mend that brokenness. He's here to fill that void in your life. Just surrender to him today and say, "Lord, have your way." And because he lives, you can face tomorrow. That's my message to all my brothers and sisters. Help somebody along this journey. Don't leave them. Don't pass them by. And above all, I know some of you are going through some physical, emotional, and spiritual attack. I know some people are even advocating not to take the vaccine. I want to encourage the entire community and those that are listening to me. Whether in Africa or wherever you are, This has to be a global responsibility to do everything possible to encourage somebody to get the vaccine. And I'm also asking the government to do everything possible to facilitate the distribution of this vaccine, especially to our brothers and sisters who are in very poor countries. And above all, I want to call on our governments to give more public assistance to those who have lost their jobs, lost their families, and those who are experiencing serious economic difficulties. This is the time for the government to step up. Some people are experiencing lack of adequate protection, but because Christ resurrected, this day we are celebrating his resurrection. I'm telling you, every potential, everything that God has promised you will resurrect, and God will get the glory, and there's a testimony that awaits for you. After COVID, let us purpose in our mind to rebuild and to move forward, because changes are here. Resurrection Sunday brought changes, Mr. Masai.
Oh, Bishop, what is the hope and prayer you gotta give to some people who some of them their relationship, some people abandon their relationship. What is the prayer and hope you gotta give to them for them to get some courage?
Well, I can tell you one thing is that I'm praying for those who, even in the midst of COVID, their relationship add insult to injury. Some of them, their relations walked away from them. All is not lost. There is hope for tomorrow. God knows your needs. And I'm praying that whatever vacuum is left in your family, in your life, God is able abundantly to replenish whatever the locusts have eaten. He is an able God. Don't get discouraged. All is not lost. When one door closes, God opens another door. The God that opened your mouth wide, that God will feed your mouth. I'm not coming tonight to prophesy to say, sow a seed for God to bless you. No. I don't believe in that prosperity preaching. I'm believing asking those that are already prosperous to help those that are in need, those who are going through some difficult and horrendous times. All is not lost. Your husband might be gone, or your wife might be gone, your brother or sisters, your grandma, they are no longer with you. But he says, I will never leave you nor forsake you. It was for this purpose that he came and took insults. He was whipped, flogged, embarrassed, disgraced. But he was doing this to make sure at the end you have victory, to make sure at the end you have testimony. Keep trusting him, embrace him, but you must be ready to make the change. To say, I'm not going to look back, I'm going to look forward. Mr. Mansari.
Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, you viewers. We just talked with a senior bishop within the African community in New Jersey, who is Bishop Emmanuel Kuyateh, who is the head bishop of the Family Restoration Worship Center in Old Bridge in New Jersey. The people them una wey they watch, we just talked to Bishop Emmanuel Kuyateh, when a senior bishop for the Family Restoration Worship Center in Old Bridge, New Jersey. He just talked about the Easter and talk about people them with the relationship, and talk about how the Easter they run and waiting bring Easter come, and how people them for deal with the relationship. So many people don't know how they watch this na Sarcast TV, where they can't on every weekly, and when they bring una people them of substance, like who bring una come Bishop Emmanuel Kuyateh, where it can tell una but waiting Easter mean because today Easter Sunday. So we go left una for today, but we engineer will get today na studio with the sound technician na Amjad Jalomiba and me na Abdullah Mansari, and we will count to na every week for the give una information and analysis and things the way they happen around the globe. Una tata, we will see una next week.